Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another solo board game playthrough. Today we're going to be a playthrough of Unstoppable. This is the newest game from Renegade in their Solo Hero series. So these are solo games, although this is a 1 to 2 player game. And yeah, so first off, I'm likely not going to win. This game's hard, so keep that in mind. But we'll kind of go over how the game plays as I'm doing it. I'm going to set this box over here. The other thing to kind of keep in mind is we are using the Tyrant's End mini expansion here. It just comes with a couple characters to play as. I'm not using either of those. Our character, Julita, is from the core box. There are some core cards and some upgrade cards that are in here as well. But that's really all that's added. So that's not too much, and it doesn't really add any extra rule overhead. So this game is a deck building game, but it's also a card crafting game, which is kind of John D. Clare's specialty. So I haven't completed setup, so we'll just get into setup here. But I did want to kind of read a little bit of flavor text from our character. We are going to be Julita, the teenage Viren activist. So this is our character here. We'll flip this over. Our starting cards are there. Our deck is comprised of 10 cards. There are 6 strike cards, which do damage. There's a credits card that gives us money. And then there's 3 cards unique to our character, so that's kind of where a little bit of asymmetry comes in. And we also get a little bit of what she focuses on. So she focuses on collecting Viren cards and using armor to punish enemies. So I've got to kind of keep that in mind. So Julita may be a teenager, but she's never let that stop her from advocating for Viren rights as part of the Viren Think movement. She's deeply invested in her community, having seen firsthand how council policies hurt her family. Despite Viren Think's nonviolent teachings, rumor says she's has a keen hand with an energy sword. So, we start the game. We're going to take 3 cards from our deck, and this is going to be our starting hand, so we're going to set these over here. We're going to gain 3 action tokens. We're going to start with 3 credits. We're going to put out 3 threats. Now, I'll get into the keywords as they kind of come up. Actually, hold on. I don't think this happens yet. I think we do this after. I think we do the boss setup, and then we put the threats out. Let me just make sure. For setup here... No, we do the threats first, and then we do the boss setup. Okay, so that's fine. So we do these first, and then we'll do the boss setup here. So then we got the Harbinger. Now, I wanted to play one of the other 2 bosses, but the second boss that I tried had a lot of stuff going on that was a little unique. So I was like, well, I'll just do the Harbinger. It kind of gives you an idea how the game works. And considering we're not going to win anyway, it's fine. So we've got the Harbinger here. He's got 12 health per player, so 12 in our solo game. We're going to play on normal, which means that when we start this marker here, this threat marker, it'll go down, and then for every green space in normal, we'll skip. So when we go all the way here, this is basically the last space before we get to the end. We get to this spot, we lose the game. Our health goes to 0, we lose the game. And his effect is when you deal this red damage here, you deal to the boss. And it says when you level up, take the top card of the boss deck and put it into the discard pile unless the deck is empty. And then to defeat the boss, deal 2 damage per player. The Harbinger, it says, maybe the Harbinger really is a myth, but the tales the Viren tell of the beast are terrifying enough that you've hoped you'd never come face to face with it. A gargantuan tentacled monster the size of an apartment building, the Harbinger is said to be buried within the planet's crust, asleep for millennia. When the Harbinger awakens, it will feed, trapping the souls of those it consumes and damning them to the eternal agony as imprints of conscious memory. The Order of the Harbinger has always been fringe group, but its influence has grown as of late. Soon the cult will attempt a ritual to awaken the Harbinger. After all, it consumes you. After all, if it consumes you, you'll live forever, screaming. And what could be better than mortality? So for setup, we take the 10 Harbinger cards, we shuffle 1 Order Acolyte and 1 Order Activist into the boss deck, shuffle the remaining cards and put them together to construct the boss deck, putting them on the threat side face down, which this is the threat side. And then we construct the threat deck with the Series 2 and the Viranos threat cards, which are the purple-backed and blue-backed cards, which are already shuffled there. Place them next to the core decks and threat side down and flip this over. Okay, so there's setup. We'll shuffle these real quick, and I'll show you quickly. I'll show you kind of how the anatomy, how a card kind of works, and then we'll just kind of go into it from there. So we'll shuffle these up. So the game sort of consists of these core cards that we're going to be adding to our decks. And then there's the upgrade cards that we're going to use to upgrade the cards. So the core cards kind of look like this. They, up in the top right-hand side is the cost. So it's how many action tokens it takes to, is that what they're called? Action points to play the card. The right below the action points here, is the what is it called? It's like the faction. So it's the Viren faction for this card. Down here is what core deck it belongs to, so number 1. And then it's going to say it's a tactic or an ally. A tactic is a one-off thing that gets done at discard at the end of your turn. An ally sits out at the end of your turn and can be exhausted to do an effect once every turn. And then it has the ability, deals 2 damage and then focus. Refresh X allies, where X is the number of cards of this faction in your hand or in play. Okay. So let's just get started here. So we do the upkeep phase where we gain our action points, which we've already done. We also get to refresh allies and resolve any upkeep effects. There aren't any upkeep effects that we have to contend with at the moment. Next, we're going to draft. So wherever our marker is here, wherever the small marker is, we get to take 3 cards from that stack. Choose one of these cards and add it to our hand. And since we care about Viren cards, I think I'm actually going to go for Worker Mutiny and take that. So we're going to take this card. These 2 get put to the bottom of the deck. Then we're going to take this card and put it to our hand, and we're not going to know what it is until we have to face it later. We had to do it to our hand, and now we have our hand here. Then we're going to the main phase. So the main phase is where we're going to do the bulk of our actions. We're going to take on threats by paying actions to play cards to deal damage. When we deal damage and we defeat an enemy, it goes to our hand as a new card. That's how we gain more cards from our deck. We just have to defeat these threats. We can also spend credits to upgrade cards. So when we take a card and we upgrade it, the top right-hand side is the cost. This tells you what it can upgrade. So this can upgrade a tactic. This says the ability that we get. So repeat the effect of the original card's effect. And then this shows you what the enemy gets. So they get 2 armor and they get a when defeated, we gain an action. We can have up to 2 upgrades on a card, and that's what takes up the 2 spots here. So you can effectively layer them in, and then that can be that, like so. And then this is going to give the enemy some additional effects. Let's take a look at an enemy. So while we're looking here, we have the ability Taunt, which is pretty straightforward in a lot of games. You have to focus on that enemy before you can fight anybody else. But this is going to be a good example. So this Sporling here has 1 attack, 1 shield, and then shield based on the threat level of the boss. So to defeat an enemy, you have to defeat its attack and its shield level combined. So in this case, it's going to cost us 2 to defeat. But if the threat level were down here, it's going to cost us 4 to defeat because the threat level is going to increase its shield. Then they're in the threat phase. If it's not defeated, it's going to attack us for that orangey thing. So it's going to deal 1 damage to us. So currently, this cost 1, this cost 1, this cost 2 to defeat. And we can fight things on top of this deck, and that's going to be very important because when things like Taunt come up, we have to face that from the top of the deck. We have to contend with that before we can fight anything else. Okay, so enough of that. We'll just get into the gameplay. We start with our 10 health. We start with 0 shield. And let's talk about what we got going on here. So we have to defeat him first and foremost. We've got a lot of Viren stuff going on. This upgrade's really nice. So when you upgrade an ally with this, it says cost 2 less if added to an Viren card. Okay, that could come in handy. This also upgrades a Viren card. Okay, so let's do this. We're going to spend our 3 credits. We're gonna go all Viren here. We're going to spend 3 credits to get Flow Skin Armor. Now, it would cost us 5 normally, but because we're going to upgrade a Viren ally, it's going to cost us 2 less. When we exhaust an ally, we get 2 shield, and we also get an additional action, which is great. And we're going to do it to Aunt Orita. So she's going to get that ability. We're actually going to spend an action. Oh, we'll refill this real quick. We're going to spend an action to play her, and she has the ability, when we exhaust her, we get to focus. So we do focus, we do X damage, where X the number of cards of this faction, which in this case is Viren, in play or in our hand. So it'll do 3 damage. We'll play her, we'll exhaust her, do 3. It's going to take this guy out. Now, we do get to get an additional action, and we get the 2 shield. Now, the Sporling's defeated, because again, Taunt is going to have to be defeated first, but this goes to our hand. So now we have this card to the rescue in our hand. We have now, we can, let's see, what else do we want to do? I would like to add that, maybe add this to our hand as well. Let's get Vocab Transport. Now, this card is going to cost us nothing because it costs 2, but costs 2 less if added to a Viren card. And when we focus, we can refresh that many allies. So let's go ahead and drop it into. This already lets us refresh allies, so we'll drop it into this card. So we have Defend the Voiceless. This increases our core marker up there. And then we can focus. We get to get that much thing. And then if we're at level 3, we lose any amount of shield to deal that much damage. So I think I'm going to play this. We're going to play this for 1. It's going to move our marker here. So now when we do our next upkeep or a draft phase, we're going to take from this deck instead of this deck. We get to get 3 shield. So 1, 2, 3. And then because we focus 3, we get a refresh an ally. Now, an important thing to note about our allies, or we can only use them 4 times a turn, so if we can continually refresh them, it's fine. But if we do it a 4th time, they're kicked out of the game. We have to basically nuke them, so they're gone. Okay, so that's done. I think I want to hold on to some stuff. So let's play this, which is going to be To the Rescue. Has the ability Unite. So Unite X, where X is the number of unique factions you have in play and are in your hand. We have 2 unique factions. That's 2 credits. We'll spend 1 to strike. This guy's defeated. This goes to our hand. And then we'll spend our last 1 to strike again to take this guy out. He's defeated. It goes to our hand. And that's going to be our turn. I'm not going to exhaust this, I guess, because there's no really need to. Okay, so next thing we're going to have happen is we're going to go to do the threat phase. So we take damage, we take the armor down, and we take health if our armor is at 0. There's no enemies to do that with. So then we're going to go to the cleanup phase. We discard all our tactic cards. So all the tactic cards we played this turn, we discard. We would lose any unspent points. We don't have any of those. We reset our armor back to 0. We refill the battlefield with threats. So we do 3 threats. So 1, 2, 3. And then we increase the danger level by 1. So this goes up by 1. And we go back to the upkeep phase. We get our 3 action tokens. We refresh allies, but this is already refreshed. And we're going to take a card. So now we're going to take a card from here. If we take a card from here, this resets this back to 0, back to the first spot. The outline part will move up as we upgrade. We'll talk about that here in a bit. So here's our cards. We've got Ambassador. We can exhaust, deal 2 damage, and move our marker up once until the end of the turn. This counts as extra faction of any type. Interesting. Mira Starstrong, deal 2 damage. If this defeats an on-deck threat, gain 1 action. Okay, that's actually pretty cool. And it's a Viren card. We can lose 2 health to draw 1 card from the bottom of our deck, and we can Conspire, which requires another card of this faction in our hand to get 2 additional shield. I think I'm going to go with Myra there, or Mira Starstrong. So add this to our hand. Okay. Okay, so this could be interesting. So I think what we're going to do first, and this is important to note, like I said, it says you can defeat an on-deck thing. We can defeat these things. So I think what we're going to do, this is the way we're going to, I think, channel this here. We're going to spend 2. Do I want to get an upgrade? I guess maybe that's another question. I don't think so. I think we'll spend 2. No, we're not going to spend 2 yet. Let's exhaust Aunt Arita to deal 3 damage. Because we've got 3 Viren cards. We'll take out this guy here. We get to get an action token, and we get to get 2 defense. We're going to spend 2 to do Worker Mutiny. It's going to deal 2 damage to somebody. And then focus, refresh that many allies. We're going to refresh this, but it's going to do 2 damage. I'm going to do it to this Order Activist. It'll make sense here in a bit. We're going to exhaust again to get 2 more shield and do 3 damage. We're going to do it to this Harbinger. His health is only... Actually, no. His health is 3. I thought it was 4. Okay. Let's take this guy out, and then we'll do this to take out him. So we're going to take out this guy. Now, this is one of the boss threats. What happens with the boss threats is that we do the effect on the back. So it says, when this card enters your hand or enters play, deal 1 damage, 1 red damage, and put it into your discard pile. So that's to the boss. So this is how we defeat the boss. Then it says, well, this is in your discard pile. This cannot be targeted or affected, and this card cannot be eliminated, which we can't kill it. And then we get the when defeated effect, deal 4 damage. So we get to deal 4 damage. We're going to do it to this guy. He's defeated. Same effect's going to happen. And then we get the effect again, which is going to do it to this guy, which defeats him. This goes to our hand. Plus has the taunt, so we had to go for him anyway. We're going to play this for free to get a credit. And then I'm going to spend 1 action here to defeat this guy for 1. He goes to our hand. And I think that's it. So that was a pretty solid play there. And it'll be very important on why we did this. So we're going to end our go. There's no threats here. Now we're going to clean up. So this reduces 0. We lose this. These tactics get discarded. We're going to reset our armor. We're going to refill the battlefield. So now to refill the battlefield, this is when we upgrade. Or we level up, sorry. So we level up. It says there's two situations where we level up. We level up if our deck is empty and there's no threats. So that's the case. Or if your deck is empty and a new threat needs to be added. So our deck is empty. We need to do this. Now it says advance. Both level this by 1. So we get to do that. Next, we discard all tactics and allies that we've played. So that ally gets discarded. We discard down to 3. So we're going to discard the strike. We can optionally eliminate a card. So I'm going to take the strike we just discarded and remove it from the game. It's out of the game. We're going to resolve the boss-specific effect, which is to add one of these cards to our discard pile. Then we're going to reshuffle our deck and place it threat side face up. And this is why I didn't play Mira, because I knew that I was gonna have to discard my allies, and I didn't want to do that yet. And then we're gonna refill. So 1, 2, 3. Uh-oh. That should be like that. So this guy's got the keyword fast. It says fast threats do not count towards your limit of 3 active threats. During cleanup, continue to add threats until there are 3 non-fast threats on the battlefield and a non-fast threat on top of the deck. So a non-fast threat on top of the deck. So this goes here. So we do have to deal with him. Okay. And then we're going to advance the danger level by 1. This symbol means we can refresh the market, upgrade market, which I think I'm going to do. I think I want to get rid of this, this, and this. Then you go to the bottom. We'll replenish 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So time to do the upkeep phase. We get our 3 cards. We refresh allies, or 3 actions, and then we can draft. We're going to draft from this pile now. Oh, 2 Viren cards. Okay, so this one gives us 2 actions. It gives us a credit and 2 defense, which is great. I think that's what I want. So I think we're going to take that. This one gives us 2 things we can focus, which would give us X damage, which could do 2 damage right now, which could be really useful as well. But I think I'm going to... that's a tough call. Because... I've got to fight this guy first. This guy's going to cost 3 to defeat. Deal 2 damage if this defeats an on-deck enemy. Okay. I like the idea of more action, so I think I am going to take this. Even though I kind of want the other card too, I think we're going to take that card. So we get this card to our hand. Okay, so we're going to spend 2 here to play Mira Starstrong. Or do I want to upgrade her? Not yet, not yet. We're going to exhaust, do 2 damage. 2 damage to this guy. We'll spend our last for Viren Tribalism. It's going to give us 2 actions, a credit, and 2 shield. We're going to spend 1 to take this guy out. This goes to our hand. We're going to spend 4 credits here to get this arc capacitor. It's going to give us 3 additional damage on this. We're going to play... do we want to play that? This will do 4 damage to somebody. This guy's got 1. Okay, so this will hit us for 2. This will hit us for 2. This will hit us for 1. So I probably want to take out somebody else. I probably want to take out somebody else. 2, 2. Yeah, because this is going to deal 2 more damage to us. So I probably want to take out one of these guys. So let's spend this last one, and we'll defeat this guy. He goes to our hand. That gets placed there. I could get 2 credits with this. I think they're called credits. I'm assuming, yeah, they're credits. So let's go ahead and play this. We'll get our 2 credits with it. Let's refresh this here. Oh, and that upgrades a Viren card. So we're going to end our go. We're going to take... did I get shield this turn? I sure did. So we're going to take 2 damage from this guy. So 1, 2. We're going to take 1 damage from this guy. It actually hits us. And then these get discarded. We are going to reset our thing, put this out. Because of fast, that gets placed out, and then we're going to advance the danger level. This will let us spend a credit to trash a card. Do I want to do that? Do I want to trash this card? I think I will. Yeah, we'll trash this strike. And we'll ready this up. We'll get these. And we'll draw 3 cards from here. Okay. Ooh, yes. Let's get Hot Slag. This is a Viren card. I'm just focusing on Viren cards because that's what my person says to do. So Hot Slag is what we're taking. Does 2 damage. And then when it's upgraded, it does 1 additional damage and gives us a shield. Which we're going to upgrade with this because it costs 2 less for us to upgrade it. Okay. So, first thing we're going to do is we are going to spend... Okay, we're going to spend 1 credit to get this Viren Tranquility. We're going to upgrade a Viren card. So it's going to cost us 2 less, which is why it costs us 1, and we get an additional action, and we get to focus. We get focus X for shield. So we're going to play this for 1. It's going to do 2 damage, and then it's going to do the 3rd damage. So we're going to hit him for 3. So that does 3, and we get a shield, and then we get an additional action back plus 2 shield because we have 1 Viren card here and 1 Viren card here. He's defeated. This hits this. We get to do 3 damage to somebody because of this ability. So let's do that 3 damage to this guy. So it's going to do 3 to him. Goes to our that discard pile. We'll spend an action to defeat this guy. So he's defeated. Puts a damage on the Harbinger. Does 4 damage to somebody. Let's do that damage to... this is 3. We could do it to this one, and it'll kill this guy too. So let's do it. But I don't know if underneath is a taunt, so we'll take out this guy. So this guy, this goes to our hand, and we get a credit. And then I could just take the hit. So that's kind of the balance, right? I want to speed through my deck to get through these to deal the damage to him. Because every turn that goes by that I don't, that's going to move down. But I also need to make sure I have cards to play on my next turn. If I burn through them all, it's going to be kind of difficult to focus on that. So... I guess I could exhaust to deal 2 damage, which this is defeated. This goes to our hand. I might want to call it there, actually. I think I might leave it alone. Okay, so that's going to end our go. This gets discarded. This will come out. See, this one had Taunt. This has Terror. So Terror means when I target it, when I target this person with an attack that does damage, I have to lose an action token. Okay. This slides down. Let's go ahead and refresh the market if we want to. And I think I do again. I think I'm going to refresh this card and this card. Okay. So we've done that. Actually, I'll put this like that. There we go. We've done that there. We are going to do this. We're going to take one of these cards and we'll get our 3 tokens. Give us an action focus for block. Okay, I think I like that. Another ally. This heals 2 and deals 1 for each upgrade. So I could upgrade this pretty quickly. And then... Is there anything that would be cool to upgrade this with? I mean, I could just give it a couple upgrades and then heal 2, which isn't bad. But I like this Zerudu Resident Armorer. He'll give us increased block. So I think that's what I kind of want. So I think we're going to do that. Okay, so we've got to take this guy out first. He's going to be 3 to take out. I guess the matter is how do we want to process this? This would cost us 2 less to add to a tactic, a Viren tactic, so that could be huge. If I could get a credit somehow. So if I defeat this guy, then I can defeat this guy to take this guy out. I think that's how we're going to play this. So I think the first thing we're going to do is we're going to spend an action to do this strike. It's going to do a damage to him. We'll exhaust this to deal 2 damage. This Virian Doe is defeated. Goes to our hand. That gets us 1 credit. Okay, this actually works out pretty well. Let's spend the 2 credits to get Crystal and Growth. So we're going to upgrade a Viren Tactic. So it's going to cost us 2 less. It's going to give us Focus X, and then it's going to give the bad guy 2 extra attack. Okay, so we've got this here. Okay, that's going to be huge. So that got played, that got played. We'll spend 1 for Defend the Voiceless. This moves forward. We get to Focus 1, 2, 3 for defense. And we're still level 2, so we don't get to do that. But then we get to refresh an ally, and we get to focus, do 3 damage. Let's deal it to the Order Acolyte. So it's going to do 3 damage. They're defeated because the armor level's 1. So that's going to go there. We're going to be able to do 3 damage to somebody, and then we're going to do the 3 damage to this guy. So he's defeated because he's only 3. We get to get an action token back. This goes to our hand. We're going to exhaust her to defeat this guy for free, basically. And then because we did that, we get an action. This goes to our hand as well. And we're getting ready to reset here. So maybe I just want to kind of take somebody out. So we'll spend we'll spend this token to do 1 damage. Spend this one to do another 1 damage. This is defeated. Goes to our hand. I think I'm going to call it there because now yeah, she's got taunts. I got to fight. Okay. Yeah, I think that's right. I hope I didn't mess up that taunt timing. Yeah, I think I did that right. Okay. Because I don't know if the taunt was below. I can't remember. Yeah, I think it was below that person. Okay. So it's going to end our go. There's going to be no more threats. So then we're going to discard our player tactics. We're going to lose our action points. We're going to reset our armor to 0. We're going to level up again. So this moves up. This gets added to here. And this gets discarded, and we're going to shuffle up. And I get to actually eliminate a card, so I'm going to get rid of another starting strike there. Okay, I think I'm in a good spot. I actually feel pretty good about this, and we'll move this down. Okay, so now they're all threat levels are 2, so that's going to kind of make things a little trickier. Whoops. Another Viren card right on top. 6 block. That's going to be huge. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, there we go. All right. So we're going to take these. Oh, let's get our tokens. So we've got Dr. Rapira. We can conspire to refresh an ally, so I have to have another faction, which I'm only really focusing on Viren cards, but I do get to heal. We have Admiral's Favor, 2 damage, heal 2, and then if you have Unite, if X is 3 or more, which is different factions, I can kill a card. It's going to cost us 3, though, so I don't know that I want to use that. We have Aid from the Resistance. It costs us 3, gives us 6 block. While this card's in play, your allies gain the effect. When exhausted, gain an action and deal 2 damage. Okay, that could be really big, especially because we have so many allies. So I think that's what we're going to go for. Okay, so let's see what we got here. So I think the first thing we're going to do is we're going to spend 2 to bring in Zerudu Resistance Armorer. We're going to focus, we're going to exhaust to, or do I want, yeah, we're going to gain an action, and we're going to get to focus 1, 2, 3, 4 for our defense there. We, This is going to be big next turn. So I can spend 1 to do 4 damage to somebody. He's got taunts, so I've got to take him out first anyway. So let's do that. We'll spend this 1 for Aunt Arita. We'll exhaust her to deal 4 damage because of focus. This is defeated. Goes to our hand. We'll gain a credit. I think that's kind of it. I think that's all we can really do. So we're going to end our go. We're going to take 6 damage. Because 7 damage, sorry, because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, because the threat level's 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This will get discarded. This comes in. Get to keep these two. Threat level moves down. We can spend a credit to trash a card. I don't think I want to do that yet because it's either cards in play, cards in our hand, or cards in our discard pile. We'll get our actions back. We'll refresh. Let's take a card. See what we get here. Gives us an action while this card's in play. All of the cards you played, when played, deal 1 damage. I like that. This gives us 2 credits. You may move all upgrades from the market to the bottom. Deal 2 damage to a target threat for each upgrade on that card. Ignore taunt. That's okay. I think we're going to take Hidden Cantina. Okay, so we've got Hidden Cantina here. So we get an action, and then while this is in play, all other cards gain the effect when played, deal 1 damage. So we're going to play that to get an action. We're going to spend 3 of our actions to get aid from resistance. It's going to give us 6 block. And then it's going to be, while this is in play, all other cards in play, all allies in play, gain when exhausted, gain 1 action and deal 2 damage. So I'm going to keep this in my hand for now. We're going to exhaust the Armorer. We're going to gain an action. We're going to gain another action because of this ability. We're going to gain 1, 2, 3, 4 block. And then we're going to get to deal 2 damage. That 2 damage is going to be dealt to this person. We're going to exhaust here. When exhausted, we get 2 block. We also get 2 more actions because of this and this, and we get to do 4 damage, plus 2 more damage. So the 4 damage is going to go to this guy. He's defeated. The 2 damage from this ability is going to go to this guy. He's defeated. That goes there. He takes 3 damage, which defeats him just outright. And then I could play a strike to do 3 damage to that person. Or I play Worker Mutiny. I'll refresh both of these guys. That's going to do 3 damage, take him out. The 3 damage could feed to the next person. And then I could do some more exhausting and stuff. But maybe I want to save it. Yeah, I think we're going to save it. So I think we're going to end our turn. So I got all these actions that I can't even use because I'm going to save them. Unless I can spend 2 here to do 2 damage. Like that. Okay, and then we're going to end our go. So that gets discarded. These get removed. That gets discarded. We bring this out, this out, this out. Fast brings that out. Okay, so this guy's kind of chunky. We're going to refresh the market here. I think I want to refresh and remove those cards. This guy's chunky is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to take out, which I think we're going to be fine to do, but man. Okay. We'll take a card from here. This says 3 damage, 2 block, then if your block is 5 or more, gain 2 actions. Okay, that could be really huge. I think we're going to take Seize the Means. Alright, let's see what we got going on here. So we've got this. I kept Worker Mutiny in my hand. Okay. So this is only going to take 1 to defeat. So let's see, how do we want to organize this? Because this is going to do 3 damage to somebody else, and we can kind of cascade that around. No, I'm sorry, it's going to take 2 to defeat because of the shield. It's based on the threat level. So let's exhaust on Arita. We're going to do 2 damage here. We also get an action and 2 block. Now she does 4 damage. She does 4 damage. So let's do that 4 damage to this guy. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. And he's got 5 health total. We're going to exhaust this to gain another action and go up in 4 block. We're going to spend 2 of our actions for Worker Mutiny. It's going to do 2 damage to somebody. So the 2 damage goes here. Boom, boom. That's going to... and then we're going to refresh up to 4 allies, but this is defeated. That gets placed there. Then we get to move 3 damage to somebody else. We'll move that 3 damage here for this ability. Not move it, but do 3 damage. We'll spend 2 of our... let's see, what do we have? We got these guys back in action again. Let's do 2 here to do Seize the Means. It does 3 damage. We get 2 block, and then if we have at least 5 block, we get 2 more actions. So this guy's gone. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this guy's gone. This goes to our hand. Let's exhaust her to defeat him. That puts another damage here. And then let's do 4 damage defeating this guy. Goes to our hand. I think I'm going to call it there. I don't think I need to do any more than that. And I don't really have a lot of credits to upgrade anything. I've got 1 credit. I could do that to add 2 to this. But it's going to give the enemy 2, which could be pretty bad for us. But I have a ton of block, which is interesting. Okay, so that's going to be it. We're going to discard those cards. We're going to remove our tokens. I'm getting a ton of actions, too. This comes out. This comes out. This comes out. So these guys have taunts. I've got to deal with them first. This gets moved down. Refreshes. 3 tokens. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Activate a threat with damage to get rid of a card. 2 damage, 1 damage, resolve, or unite, resolve, X. Common enemy, unite. If you have, choose one of these, it's 3. Yeah, these aren't really helpful for me. I think I'll take integrated optics. All right, so this guy's going to be 5. This one's going to be 5, and this one's going to be 3. So we'll probably take him out first, and then focus on one of these guys here. So I think the first thing we're going to do is I don't have any credits to really do a whole lot here. We are level 3, so we can lose any amount of shield in order to deal that much damage. So this could be pretty big for us because we can boost up a bunch of shield and then hit somebody. So I think we'll do On to Rita first. That's going to give us an action token. We're going to focus and do 3 damage with our focus ability. So it's 3 things here. So boom, boom, boom. This is defeated. We get an action token. It goes to our hand. And then we get 2 shield. We're going to exhaust to get another action token. And then we're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4 shield. Up to 6. We will spend 1 for Defend the Voiceless. It's going to move us up 1 on this. It's also going to let us get 4 shield. And then we can spend... we can lose any amount of shield, deal that much damage. We're going to spend 5 shield to do 5 damage. This guy's defeated. And then we have we can do 4 more damage, which defeats this. Or no, it does 4 damage to this person, and they're 5. And then we can refresh up to 4 allies, so these are refreshed. But that card's been played. We will spend... Let's play this, which will get us 2 credits, because we have 2 different icons. Oh, wrong thing. 2 credits. Let's spend our 2 credits to get this 1,000 watt arc capacitor and upgrade our strike. Now these guys are going to dump at the end of the turn, so I've got to figure a way to just like kill everything I've got here and maybe just try to keep what I have. So we know we're going to lose this, so let's activate this to deal... Is that what I want to do? Or do I want to add this to this? Maybe I want to add... Yeah, let's actually do this. Let's add this to this card instead. We'll do that. There we go. And I'll spend 1 to do the strike. It's going to defeat this guy for 5. We get to deal damage to him. 3 damage gets added to this guy. This goes to our discard pile. He's got 5 health right now. We'll spend 2 actions to do this. It does 2 damage plus additional damage to somebody else, but there's nobody else to deal damage to. And then we get to unite and move. It says resolve X, but I think it just, I don't know, I think it just moves it, and it's going to move it 2 spaces because we have 2 of that icon. So it moves it to the end. But he's gone. We also get 2 credits for defeating him. He goes to our hand. And then this guy's going to be 4 to defeat. So let's just try to take him out if we can here. We'll exhaust this for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This defeated. We get a thing here. Goes to our hand. I think that's going to be it. I think we're going to end the go. Okay, cool. So we did that. We remove these. We go to our block all the way down. These will get discarded. We'll add this to the deck. We'll shuffle up. We discard. Oh, and I can kill a card. Let me get rid of a basic strike there. Okay. And now we're going to get to choose from the last column, or the last thing, because it has a ton of stuff. Okay, we might actually win the game, unless I made a mistake in the rules. But I think we're doing okay. So we might actually win the game here. Okay, so that comes in. We are going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because the fast don't count. So that's a ton of stuff. Okay, this gets moved down. We can cycle things. Maybe I want to keep this because it'll give me a chance to heal a little bit. But I don't have a card to add to it. I kind of want that because it gives me a ton of block that I can turn around and use it for something. So let's clear these out. And see what we can get. It's another ton of block there. Okay. So let's get our action tokens here. We're going to take from this stack. Oh, and this moved up, by the way. Okay, so this one's gain a credit, then deal 2 damage for each thing we have while playing this. While after paying this card's cost. While this card's in play, each time you play a card, gain 1 of these and deal 2 damage. Heck yeah, we're taking that. That sounds awesome. Okay. So we've got to figure out the best way to go about doing this. This is going to be 4 to defeat. This is going to be 7 to defeat, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is going to be 5 to defeat. This is going to be 5 to defeat. And this is going to be 4, 5 to defeat. So I can play this and do 4. But if I can get rid of this guy, I can make this a little stronger. I can also make it stronger by this. So let's play 1 here to play Viren Tribalism. It's going to give us 2 actions. It's going to give us a credit, and it's going to give us 2 shield. Can I upgrade one of these and maybe get some stuff going here for some health? Let's spend the 3 credits to get this, which is going to give us 2 credits and a health. We're going to upgrade Uprising. Okay. Okay. Then we're going to play Hot Slag. It's going to deal 2 damage and then additional damage and give us a shield, plus 2 more damage, plus give us a thing and give us block, give us 4 block. So let's kind of distribute this damage here. So 2 damage to this one. 1 damage again, and then 2 damage again, which defeats this. That goes there. Okay, so we actually might win this game. Hold on, we might win this game. That deals 3 damage elsewhere. I want to put that 3 damage on. I gotta get rid of one of these fast guys because the fast guys are gonna make it difficult for us. So we're gonna do 1, 2, 3 to that person. We'll spend 1 for Uprising, so it's going to gain us 1 credit. Then deal 2 damage for each one of these we have after paying the cost. And then while this is in play, each time you play a card, gain a deal and deal 2 damage. So it's going to do 6 damage right now. This one cost us 5. This is 1, 2. This is 5, and this is 7. I think I'm going to take out this Enforcer here. So he's defeated. We get 2 credits. We'll spend 2 actions for this. We're going to gain each time. It says while this card's in play, each time you gain 1, deal 2 damage. So we're going to play this. It's going to do 2 damage. No, sorry. It's going to do 2 damage. 1 damage. We can move this up by 1. And then this is defeated because of 4. I gain a token, which is going to let me combo that and do 2 damage. This goes to my hand. I play my last 2 to play Seize the Means. It does 3 damage, which this guy has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's going to do 3 damage here. Give me 2 block, and then if I have at least 5 block, I gain 2 of these back, which is going to do 4 damage, because I get, each time you gain 1, you deal 2 damage. So I need to do 4 damage, which is going to take him out. He's defeated. I get a credit. I've got the block to deal with this guy, so I think it's fine. I'll spend my last 2 for Mira Starstrong. And we can just exhaust to deal 2 damage, and he's defeated and goes to our hand. Okay, that was a huge turn. Huge, huge, huge turn. So those get discarded. We will bring these out. So 1, 2, 3. So this guy's got Crazed. Crazed says when a Crazed threat is revealed, if your current health is equal to or lower than the Crazed value, the Crazed threat deals itself 2 damage. So it doesn't do it quite yet. We've got the Terror ability, so I don't know if I mentioned, but we have to lose an action point if we play an effect that deals damage to them. So that gets reset down. This gets done here. This moves over. Do I want to cull a card? I think I'm kind of on my last push here, so I think we're good. I think we're just going to keep it moving here. Take a card from here. We've got a Viren card. Get 2 actions. Draw the card from the bottom of your deck. We're taking that for sure. This gets refreshed. All right. And we get to get an action for this, so it kind of will balance itself out because of the Terror ability. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to spend an action for Ambush. So we're going to get 2 actions. We're going to draw the card from the bottom of our deck. So this guy's 5, this guy's 5, and this guy is 3. So we'll spend 1 action to play this. It's going to do 1 damage to him. We lose a token. Does 3 damage. Is that what I want to do? No, I got to do taunt first. So this does 4 damage. We'll spend 3 for Aid of the Resistance. Gives us 6 block. While this is an effect, allies gain the ability when exhausted, gain an action, deal 2 damage. We're going to exhaust. We're going to do 2 damage, so he's defeated. This goes to our hand. We're going to deal 2 more damage and gain an action. That 2 damage is going to be done here. I guess it says when you target, yeah, I guess when you just target them, we lose the action no matter what. So maybe I want to hit this guy. Yeah, it says when you exhaust it, deal 2 damage. And then it just says when you target a terror threat with an effect that does damage, lose 1 action point. So I guess I just lose this if I do that. We play this to gain a credit. I've got enough shield, I think. I think I'm okay, and I can kind of just work on this next turn. I think I'm okay. Okay, so threat phase is going to happen. It's going to do 1, 2. And this is going to do 1, 2, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage. This gets discarded. We bring in a new threat here. This one comes in with, like I said, Crazed 5. So when a Crazed threat is revealed, if your current health is equal to or lower than that, it does 2 damage. Deals itself 2 damage. Okay, that moves down. Everything's 4. Okay, we're cutting it close here. That gets added there. This gets refreshed. We've got this in our hand. Let's add a card to our hand. Four damage. While this card's in play, each time you defeat a threat, gain a thing. This does 3 damage, then 2 damage. I think I want that one, even though it's going to cost us 2. I think it's going to be better for us in the long run. And this guy's got taunt, so we've got to deal with him. And right now, he's going to be 6 to defeat. Okay, so how do we want to operate on this? I think if we can help it, we can maybe combo this. So he's got 6 to defeat. Can I upgrade something and make this a little more worthwhile for me? We're going to spend 2 to add hollow plated to this, which will make sense here in a moment. We're going to spend another 2. No, I'm sorry. We're going to spend 1 to do empowered. Add this to here. Okay. So the first thing we're doing is we're going to spend 2 tokens for 5 meters under. It's going to do 3 damage. We have to target him. So 3. And how much damage does he have? He's got 4, 5. He's 6 total. We're going to do 2 damage. We're going to get 5 block. And then do another 2 damage. He's defeated. Goes to our hand. Okay. I did way more damage than I was thinking, but that's okay. This guy's got taunts. We have to take him out. We're going to exhaust Mirror Starstrong to deal 2 damage to here. This is defeated. We get to get a credit. And because we defeated a card on top of the deck, we get to get an action back. We've got 2 actions here. We're going to play to the rescue to get 2 credits because of the Unite ability. Can I add? Okay, I can add an upgrade to Aunt or Rita. Let's spend 3 to add this Law's Pistol to Aunt or Rita. So whenever she's exhausted, it's going to deal 1 damage. We're going to spend 1 to play her. This guy is 7. This guy is 6. And this guy is 3. We're going to spend it to do Defend the Voiceless. It's going to move our focus marker 1. And then we have focus. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then we're at least level 3. We can lose any amount to deal that much damage. So we're going to lose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to deal 5 damage, which is going to do the 5 damage to him. This guy's gone. This goes to our hand, and we get a credit. Then we can refresh allies, so this gets refreshed. We can focus and do 1, 2, 3 damage to somebody. That's going to take him out. We have no... I don't know that it requires 1 to do that, or we just lose it, and if it's not there, it doesn't matter. Let me just double check that terror. So it says, terror threat drains your Steely Resolve. When you target terror and it with an effect, you lose 1 action point. If you have no action points left, the effect still resolves, but the loss is ignored. The restriction does not apply to non-damage effects. So this guy's gone. He goes to our hand. Oh, this makes me feel so smart. Okay, so this is gone. This is done. Then we're going to play this to gain an action. Or no, maybe I want to wait to do that. This guy needs 4 more damage to be defeated. We'll exhaust to deal 1, 2, 3, 4 damage to this guy. plus 1 damage for exhausted, so he's defeated. And then we get to get 2 shield and 2 actions. This goes to our hand. This guy's going to be 5 to take out. Do I want to just try to take him out and see if I can burn through the deck? We've gone through, let's see. We should have some more of these Harbinger things, and so we should be able to try to see if we can win the game right now. So we are going to spend our 2 here. We'll spend this to gain an action, and then while this is in play, when you play a card, it gets the ability to deal a damage. Can I add an upgrade to this and do some more damage here? We're going to spend 2 to get this and add it to Worker Mutiny. We'll spend 2 to play this. This is going to do 2, 3, 4, 5 damage. This is gone, and this refreshes. We'll spend 1 to do a damage to this guy. This guy's health is 7 right now. We'll exhaust this to gain an action. Give ourselves 2 shield. Do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage. Plus the additional damage. He's defeated. That dumps that on there. 4 damage gets added to this person. Because I think when defeated, it should apply to that person. And then I'm going to exhaust this to do 2 damage. Boom, boom. This person's health is 6. They're defeated. That passes that on to there. 3 damage gets passed down. And I think we won. I think that's right. I don't see why that shouldn't work, because you have it and you can attack the top part of the on-deck threat. Because it says the top card of your deck. Oh, and I got another action back, by the way. It says it's still, yeah, you can deal damage to the threat while it's still on top of your deck. Pay attention to keywords because they matter. So it should be fine. So I think that's it. So I think we actually won. Holy crap, I think we won. So that's going to be a playthrough. If I made any rules mistakes, please let me know. And if it invalidates the rules, if the rules mistakes invalidate the W, then tell me that. But I think we actually won. So that's going to be a playthrough of Unstoppable. The game comes with 2 bosses. I'm sorry, 2 more bosses, 3 bosses. This guy looks really hard, and I'm afraid of him, but we'll maybe try him sometime. This one I played against and is interesting, and he's got a lot of stuff going on. And then there's 4 characters in the base game, plus 2 more from the expansion. Plus there's a ton of these upgrade cards, as well as there's 3 decks of different colors. So like there's a purple deck, a green deck, and a blue deck. We use the decks are a combination of certain things based on what the boss says, and there's a ton of the core cards here. And really, like we really leaned into the Viren ability here, which is what she kind of specializes in. So each of the characters will specialize in something else, and you can kind of lean into that. So that was just one aspect of this beings that like we could have went a completely different route and approached the problem of the game, the puzzle of it. So anywho, that's going to be the playthrough. That is Unstoppable. Let me know what you guys think of the game. And I hate to say this, but I already want more expansions. I'd love like 2 more bosses and maybe like another 2 characters or something. Or 3 more bosses and make it 6 bosses and 8 characters. Something like that I think would be plenty of variety. And I think I might get the other playmat, and I kind of wish these were metal. But aside from that, the game's great. The production's really nice. I personally don't like having to shuffle cards without sleeves, but you have to for this game, so it is what it is. But anyway, that's going to be the playthrough. Let me know what you guys think of the game, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.